Hmm. Hello students, today we are going to discuss about Computer System Architecture Unit 1. In Computer System Architecture, first we have to know what is computer. Computer. Computer can normally defined as an electronic device which accepts input from the user, processes it and gives the proper output. This diagram indicates the working principle of a computer. First, it takes the input from the user, then it gives the raw data or information to the CPU, Central Processing Unit, which consists of two parts. The first part is control unit, the second part is ALU, arithmetic logic unit. These two units are the main components of CPU. After the control unit and ALU gets the data, then it sends to the memory unit. Now the memory unit can be of two types. The first one is RAM and the second one is ROM. RAM is the volatile memory of a computer, whereas ROM is the non-volatile memory of the computer. After getting in the memory unit, now the result is given to the output unit. The output unit consists of monitor, it may be your printer, it may be your speaker, any hardware device which we can see, we can tell that that unit is known as output unit. So this diagram indicates the basic function of a computer. Now in computer system architecture, we have a subject called functional unit of a computer. In the functional unit, we have 5 types of functional unit. The first one is input or output unit. The second one is processor unit. The third one is memory unit. Fourth one is the CU or ALU unit. Fifth one is the output or final product. In the first case, we have written input or output unit. In this case, only basic applications are used. Basic. But in the last output or final product, here we can specify it specific as any coding or programming output. Now here specific coding or programming output means, let us take two examples. First, we can do the Java programming, or for web development we can do the HTML programming or Python programming. In this type of programming, the final product is known as the output unit. But in the first step, only basic calculation of two numbers or listening to music, that is known as input or output. So now let us discuss the second unit of the functional unit of a computer, second part. We have the processor unit. The processor unit is the main unit of a computer. Without the processor, a computer cannot process anything. Process means data or instruction. That means when a user gives any data or wants to run any program, it has some instructions which are given to the processor. The processor unit processes that data or instruction and gives the signal to the memory unit. Now, the memory unit either stores or reads. Stores or reads. The memory unit consists of two types of primary or secondary. But in this case, this process, the primary memory is considered. In the primary memory, the data or instruction is read by the processor. After reading the instruction, then the fourth unit comes in action. The fourth unit consists of CU. CU means control unit, and the other part is ALU, arithmetic logic unit. In this unit, the control unit controls the whole process, whether the data is a mathematical data or a basic data. If the data or instruction is basic, then the control unit does the whole work. But if the data or instruction has any mathematical function, that means true or false, or logical thinking, equals to or not equal to, or greater than equal to, or less than equal to, then the arithmetic logic unit makes the decision of that data or instruction in that particular case. After controlling that data and instruction, it processes it, then the last part comes in action, that is the output or final product. After doing all the calculations, the final product is given to the user. User means we. We have given the input to the computer. After all the process, the final output is produced. In all the units, if we go deeply, we have various parts inside it. Particularly in the memory unit, we have two types of memory unit. So I am now going to briefly describe the two parts of memory unit inside a computer. The first part is primary. Primary unit. Primary unit or memory unit. Primary memory unit. In the primary memory unit, we have two memories. The first one is RAM. The full form of RAM is Random Access Memory. And the second part is ROM. The full form of ROM is Read Only Memory. Now, the main memory which runs from the booting time to the shutdown time is the RAM. As the name indicates, random access memory. In the random access memory, the processor and other control unit always gets access to the data or instruction stored in the RAM. Why RAM? Because RAM is faster than ROM. One disadvantage of RAM is it is non-volatile. Non-volatile means, in simple words, when we are working in the computer, if power cuts, then what we are doing with the computer, the data or instruction will be lost or deleted. That one part is the disadvantage of RAM. For that, to store the data in the computer permanently, we have the second part, which is called secondary memory. Another name of secondary memory is auxiliary memory. Now you must be thinking that secondary memory has two names, secondary memory or auxiliary memory. Thus, primary memory also has another name, primary memory or main memory. Okay, so in the random access memory, the work is done faster, but the data cannot be stored permanently. So we have to take the help of secondary memory or auxiliary memory. The secondary memory examples, they can be your hard disk, hard disk inside the CPU or CD. Nowadays we are using pen drive. It can be a small memory cards. Okay, so these are the examples of secondary memory. These memory are non-volatile in nature. they will store the data permanently, but in the RAM we cannot store the data permanently. So after completing the memory unit, now let's talk about bus structure. Bus structure inside a computer system architecture. Now you must be thinking, what is bus? Bus in computer language, bus means the way in which a data passes from one location to another location. Here, the computer always uses the bus structure to transfer data from one place to another. As the name bus indicates, it shows that once the data has left the destination, it cannot return back in the middle way. It has to complete the whole journey. After completing the whole journey, when he reaches the final destination, then only the data is completed or sent. It cannot come back in its own way, but he has to travel from the starting point to the ending point. Same happens inside the computer processor and control unit. First step, we have to give the input. It takes the input, then it goes straight to the processor. After the processor, it goes to the memory unit. After memory, it straight goes to the control unit or ALU unit. Now, after completing the 4 steps, the final output is shown. So, all this method is carried out by the process of bus structure. Bus structure. So, from the starting lecture, we came to know that in computer system architecture, we first came to know the definition of computer in simple language. Now, after knowing the definition, we came to the block diagram of a computer. After the block diagram, we found out that there are 5 types of functional unit inside a computer. The 5 types of functional unit were described thoroughly in this video. After completing the 5 types, we came to know about the flow of data or instruction inside a computer through a way which is known as bus structure. The the bus structure has a single route from the starting to the ending. It does not have any U-turn. So, in this video, we can briefly say that we got some ideas about what is computer, the basic diagram or function of a computer, types of functional units of a computer, bus structure inside computer system architecture, and some brief explanation about memory unit. So this was the first video of computer system architecture. Hope you all like the video. Thank you. Huh?